Welcome to another inspiring episode of the Elite Expert Insider Podcast. Hosts Melanie Johnson and Jenn Foster are the owners of Elite Online Publishing. They're both Wall Street Journal, USA Today best-selling authors. We're really glad you're here because this podcast was designed for you. Meet industry experts that share their secrets and strategies. Get successful results for your business in money, relationships, health, and your life. Each episode is going to inspire you to take action towards reaching your greatness.
Hey everyone, it's Melanie Johnson. Welcome to our show again. I've got my business partner from Elite Online Publishing, Jenn Foster, with us. Hey, Jenn.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
We hope you're having a fantastic week. You know, sadly in the news, it seems like every month, every week, there's some tragedy going on at our schools. There's a shooting and it gives me goosebumps. It just scares me to death. It scares us for our children, for our families, and no one has really come up with a solution. So today we have one of my favorite people of all time, Ana Reger here. She is a rock star. She even owns a company called Rockstar Wigs is one of her companies, but she is just this amazing woman entrepreneur. Anybody who knows her story is going to look up to her and just want to follow what she does. And she has created this new invention that is going to help save our kids' lives at schools for school shootings. Ana, thanks for coming today.
Hi, Melanie. Thank you for having me. Thank you, Jenn.
Yeah, well, tell us a little bit, Ana, of your background and how you got to this, where you are today.
Well, I have very humble beginnings. I was in the poorer side of Houston, Texas. I was born and raised in Houston, and my dad was blind. And so, I left home at a young age and didn't really have much. Went back, I took care of special needs children all throughout that time because it was something that was dear to my heart. And I love volunteering. And so that was kind of like something I could do at a young age and work. And then I went back to school because I felt like it was something I really needed to do. And I always felt like that was missing. So I went back and got my GED. I was sneaking around. I didn't want nobody to know. I was a little embarrassed. And then because everybody else had their, degree or whatever. So then I went to college and I tested at college level, everything except for math, which was fun. And then I went to college and I got my associate's degree from the community college, Houston Community College. And then I decided, I'm going to see if I can go to university. So then I went over to University of Houston and I got my bachelor. I was going to be a nurse. I got a bachelor's of science, but when it came time to go into the nursing program, couldn't quite quit working and go to school full time. So I went into a minor in business and entrepreneurship. So Bachelor of Science, minor in entrepreneurship and business. So it's an interdisciplinary. And then things transitioned with the special needs kids and a lot of the mother moved and a lot of things happened. And so I had to go out and find something different. And I went into the business world, met my partner, my husband now, who basically complemented every style in business that I wasn't strong in and vice versa. And he really encouraged me to go on and do something, more, and always pushed me to pursue my ideas and my dreams. And so we created several companies together, which we've been very, very fortunate, very thankful for. And now I am on a mission as a mom, because it's like Melanie said, it's something that every time we wake up and we see this news, it's like, oh my gosh, you guys, please do better. I'm a stepmom of 6 kids. And I'm like, every time she leaves, like, your heart is outside your body running around, and how can we protect them? And that's what prompted me to create Flip Lok. And it's just because it's like, they need a way. Our kids are very smart. I don't care if they're 5, 6, 7. If they have a way to go into action during a situation, they will. But right now, it's like all the keys, all the locks, every way to protect themselves is given to everybody else. And our kids are 15, 20, 25 kids per teacher. Why don't our kids have a device that they can go into action? And what action is that? And that's where Flip Lok came in. It's so simple. It attaches to the frame of the door, and all they have to do is shut the door, flip it, and it drops and it locks. And it's super simple to use. And it even says call 911 on the other side, because when kids are panicked, I want them to remember what's the next step to go into. And it tells them call 911. And I was talking to other people, and every time I talk about it, I get emotional, because it's like, they're like, hey, Ana, this is amazing, because how many kids have been the kid that saved all these kids because they stood in front of the door, or the kid that sacrificed themselves basically because we we didn't give them the tool, or they're not big enough to move a desk, but this kid held a door and saved a lot of kids. But we shouldn't have that. And that's why I think Flip Lok is something that really needs to be pushed. And I also believe that we need to push for standardization of active threat drills in our school, period. Our kids, my daughter was in summer camps these last summers, and I don't know if you guys know or not, but she's in camps doing fun stuff. And I'm scared because I'm like, oh my gosh, she doesn't even know what to do, because all the standard drills are all different during all the schools. So any active threat situation is different depending on which school they're in. And you don't go, oh, I'm not going to send her to this camp that she really wants to go to because, we don't have a standard. And what really has pushed my passion, I've always liked helping people with the special needs kids with this, when now it's like I'm on this mission as a mom to be a voice, to be an advocate, and to actually empower our children to be able to go into action to protect themselves.
So let's think about, I love what you said about empowering, doesn't matter what age it is. This morning on the news, they were showing a young girl who's only 6 years old, and right in front of her house on the sidewalk, a guy walked by and grabbed her arm and was trying to drag her away. And she screamed really loud and tried to kick and pulled him away and pulled herself away, and he let go. And it was because her parents taught her to resist if somebody does that. She knew to do that. So it's that same kind of thing. You can teach a 5-year-old, a 6-year-old, this is the protocol of what you do. So walk us through a little bit more in detail what Flip Lok is, but then I really want you to tell us how you started it. Like, some people have ideas, right? A lot of us have ideas to create something, but you, my dear, took it from idea to reality. How does someone get from idea to reality?
So, like I said, I have a wonderful partner, my husband, and he is a creator / inventor. And so as parents, we talk about these situations. What can we do different? What can we do better as entrepreneurs, as people that create? What can we do that actually will give back on a bigger scale and actually save lives? Because I truly believe it will. And that's when we came up with the idea of Flip Lok back years ago, but we didn't really, we thought it was always, it was there, somebody did it. And then the more we started to hear about it and see it, it wasn't really what we felt was powerful enough for our kids to be empowered to be able to do something. So we talked about it. We went through, I don't know how many prototypes, just making sure it's going to do what it's supposed to do in the time that they need it. And so my husband, John, helped come up with the invention that we actually have patent on, and we're in the middle of registered trademark, all that stuff. And that's how we came up with it. And we worked on the color, we worked on all these things together. And so now we went into production. And I mean, it takes so long to actually do it, but we just believe so strongly in it that we felt like we had to do it. We have to do it. And even for me, as a businesswoman, I don't, necessarily need to be out in the public, but for me, this is my mission. I feel like I have to get out and I have to do this. And that's why I'm out going on podcasts, going on news, TV, going everywhere I can, anybody that will listen, because I feel like this is my mission. And with my husband's support and his creation of this amazing device, I have it right behind me. I'm so proud of it. We made one also because we have kids in every age range, right? So we have a daughter who's 19 in an apartment, and we're like, oh my gosh, a lot of people have the key to her apartment because it's an apartment. So we made one for home version, for the doors, for the dorms, for wherever our kids are. So one of our other kids is in college and out of state, and he's going into an apartment with 4 other, college roommates. Well, I don't know his roommate's friends. I don't know if his roommate gave them a key to the door. So we made it where you can actually put it in your bedroom door. So if he's asleep, his room will be safe. And so we made it for all, for our kids to be protected, but really everybody's kid, everybody's child should be protected. And we have to be the ones to advocate and create something that's easy for them to use, easy for them to install, and something that they can go to sleep. And actually we as parents can go to sleep, or even dropping our kids off and have that sense of security. Because for me, that's so invaluable. I can't go to work and really focus on my work if I'm worried about my children. And the other thing is, how do our kids feel when they're in the classroom and their teacher, who is the only one that can lock the door, how do they feel not being able to be in power of their own, survival and protection? You need to give them a way to protect themselves. And I think that gives them also peace of mind, like, hey, I can go into action if my teacher's got to go to the bathroom. Because let's face it, that happens.
Yeah. So show us how it works. You say you have one there behind you.
Oh, yeah.
And what's the difference between that and like, you can say, well, I can just do a bolt lock. Why is that better than a bolt lock?
It doesn't work the same. First of all, when you're in a restroom or anywhere there's a deadbolt, do you know if you look at it from anywhere in that room if it's locked? Because I know I don't. I'm quite sure our kids aren't going to really know that, right? And especially in an emergency panicky situation, we need to know that door is locked. And see this one, it attaches to the frame of the door here on the inside. This is just a display. And then all you do is flip it and it drops and it locks into place. And see, it says call 911. So it reminds them what's the next step after, and you get away from the door, right? We have, so what we did, we took it a step further because I, like I said, I want to standardize active threat drills. So I have an alert. It's, beep, 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 a unique alert that tells them, okay, there's a lockdown situation, go into action. What's the action? Maybe they're in the restroom where they should have it on every door, go into a room, shut the door, flip the lock. And then I believe that we should have an all clear. So the kids go, okay, it's safe to open the door and we maybe stay in our classroom, but we know that it's safe to unlock our door. And in that, it gives our kids that sense of security. And I believe there should be a drill. When they do the drill, 2 or 3 kids should get a chance to flip that lock while they're in that classroom, right? They should get to feel that sense of empowerment and that sense of like, even a 5-year-old can do that. And even if they're in that situation, they can go, oh, I know what to do no matter where I'm at. And that's why I think it's important to standardize it because, we've been out. Our kids should know it's a fire. It's a fire. It's a fire. We know what to do. But now, unfortunately, these situations are not going away. They're getting worse. What can we do better for ourselves, for our children? And we have to do better. And that's why I'm really out here trying to empower our children and actually have people listen to me. And I want to go and have moms support me and go, hey, we want you to go and push for change and push for standardization for our children. Our children should know no matter what school they start in next year or what camp they're in, what they're going to go, what action they're going to go into.
Is there a way to break the lock? Like if somebody's in there, is there a way, you don't have to tell us if there is, but is there a way to get in if they had to in an emergency or something?
Yes, we have a key system. We don't really show that just because it's safety, but we have a key system that we put into the lock system. That's good. Every administrator, every fire, every emergency personnel, whoever they want to give it to, we will give it to them. And it's an unlocking device. We have an inward swing and an outward swing. So we have both. In case the door opens the other way. So it's the same concept, except we have a lip, you push it close, it won't slam open. Right. Same concept, it locks and you can't open it. And it also has an unlocking device to get in for emergency situations. So yes, we have that covered as well.
That's good. So there's a key to get in if there's something. So along with this is definitely the education, right? Like I think as a teacher or something might be worried about, well, what if I go to the bathroom and it's not an emergency and someone does the flip lock?
Right.
Like that, some kid who's not behaving or whatever, something happens. So what would happen in that kind of situation? They would just have the key to open it?
We have the key, and the key, would need to be kept with the administrators, whoever the people in charge decide. But there's also, like a lock box where they keep things like that. And, and I think that it's something that's unique to our product, but it's also simple and we can give them as many as they need.
Yeah. But I'm sure with the right proper education and letting the kids understand that this is what this is meant for, that's not going to happen,
Yeah, I think a lot of kids really want this. They really want to feel like, okay, calm, I'm happy to be in school. And I think parents want something like this to know that it's not just on one person. And that responsibility is a lot lighter too, as an instructor or administrator. Like I don't have to be in every place at every time. I know my kids can go into action to protect themselves, and I'm confident because we've trained them, and I can train them our whole system in 5 minutes. And it takes 5 minutes to install our flip lock, literally. And it's very cost effective. I made it as cost effective as possible because the goal is to save lives. That's the truth.
And, just to have that simplicity and be able to know that you have this safety. I can imagine teachers and students go to school nowadays. When I went to school, I never had that fear that I could die by going to school. That's a whole nother level of anxiety for students and administrators that they weren't living with before. That is a common occurrence today. So to come up with the solution, and I love, like you said, it does take a while. Like your husband, I remember he showed us drawings. This was the first sketch of it, taking it from drawing the idea to a drawing to an engineer to having, I remember when I sat in your living room and you said, well, this is a prototype, but we're still working on it and getting it tweaked and all of that. And having that patience, you have to have patience when you're an entrepreneur. I mean, like you said, this has been, even when you had the idea, once you decided to move forward with it, how long has it taken just to move forward?
Oh, almost 2 years, over 2 years, actually. We've been, I mean, when you go through patents and you go through CAD and you got to go through all this drawings and you got to go to actually making it. And then if you want to revise it, and, I literally, I am so strong about, believe so strongly in the product. I put my face on the box. So I'm like, if my face is on the box, this thing is going to do exactly what it says, because it's important. I mean, it's important in many ways. It's important. It's going to save lives. It's important. And it's also our name and our integrity. I want this thing, when somebody goes into action, it's going to do what it's supposed to do. And I can't say that for other locks, but I can say it for ours.
And are you planning to go into, I remember you talked about sales to the schools. So what's the plan to get it into schools? How do you get schools on board? So if you're a school, if you're a mom and you have kids in a school and a principal or someone in government, right? What are the best ways to get this out on a mass scale?
So PTOs are amazing. They have a lot of power. Superintendents, any superintendents, the head of the chief of the school district, the police departments are very instrumental. I'm actually talking to quite a few right now, and they're very interested. They all are on board. They just, sometimes it's funding or something like that, but a lot of them are working on that, and we're working with them to get that cleared up. And it's just, I think if parents use their voice like I've used mine, then we will get things done, and a lot of change will happen, and we'll see Flip Loks in a lot more schools.
I love that. I love that you just take action, right? Like, it's like we need this problem solved. Let's solve it and let's take action.
Yes.
I love that.
Thank you.
So tell us the website where we can find you and find the product.
Okay. Our website is fliplok.com, and you can find me. I have actually a public Instagram now, and it's Ana Reger Official, ANNAREGER Official on Instagram, and also Facebook. And we also have a fliplok.usa on Instagram as well, but you can link to all of them from mine, and you can see what I'm up to and what I'm doing and what I'm trying to do and get done and get accomplished. And if you want to be a part of my mission, I welcome you to send me an email and, say, hey, if you go to legislator or you go somewhere, we want to be there to support you as parents, because like you said, teachers and administrators and students didn't have to worry about this situation, but parents didn't either. And it's terrible.
Well, we'll put the links up so people can go to the website and they can follow you on Instagram, as well as the company on Instagram, and spread the word and share this with everyone, so that their schools can be safe, our kids can be safe, and your homes too, for personal use.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And I want a couple for my house, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. My daughter needs some for her new condo. So
yes, true. And you can put them in your bedroom and your front door. You don't have to just put it at your front door. So, when you go to bed, nobody's going to be surprising you.
Yep. I love that. So please support this cause. We're trying to save children's lives, and check it out and start talking to the principals, the superintendents. And, the more you talk about it and you're demanding it, you're saying this is not an option. We really want this. And Jen and I believe in this product as well. This is more of an information podcast, but we just believe in this. And Ana is very humble. I just want to tell you, she is like a huge, huge success in the real estate space, as well as some other entrepreneurial spaces as well. So we're behind her. So join us next time. And remember, if you're looking to publish a book and you want to become a #1 bestseller, contact us at Elite Online Publishing and hit that submission form, and we'll see if you're a good fit for us. Talk to you soon, and have a fantastic week.
See you next time.
Hey, are you looking to increase your revenue, build credibility, and elevate your brand? This podcast is brought to you by Elite Online Publishing, an innovative publishing and full spectrum marketing company. They will publish and market your book to make it a #1 bestseller. Becoming an author is the best way to market your business. So contact them at eliteonlinepublishing.com today. All of their authors become #1 bestsellers.